once again has been in perfect right order, because I certainly am talking about today, the title of my talk is that God's infinite, intelligent, divine mind, universe, meets every need. Because we teach in the science of mind that it is the will of God, it is the joy of God, it is the very activity of God in our life to fulfill all of our needs. God, infinite intelligence, divine mind, has already said yes. Now, in the science of mind, we are very interested in the level of our current thinking. We want that to move beyond whatever the limited material world is telling us, or whatever the limited material world seems to be dictating to us. See, there are definite things that we can do, definite ways that we can think and believe and use our imagination and act in the world that will assist us in bringing about a new state of consciousness and thereby new experiences in our life. There is an essential truth of being expressed through all of us right now, right here, all the time. And what that is, it's God, it's spirit, it's light, it's life, it's love itself. It's the single reality of the universe, and it is good. It is good. This is what we believe in the science of mind. One essential truth being expressed through everyone right now. It's God, it's life, it's light, it's spirit, it's love, and that single reality of the entire universe is good. That spirit of life is beneficent, it's creative, and it's constructive power. So, this is how we then, each individually, have the potential to be creative and constructive in our own lives. So creativity and wholeness and harmony are actually the foundation of all that is. The power that is at the center of us cannot be diminished in any way. And so what we do as students of the science of mind is that we continually work to expand our awareness of all that we are. That who I am is more than what I thought. And who you are is more than what you thought. And who you are is more than your past experience. And who I am is more than my past experience. We are all more than our mistakes. We are all more then who we are is more than who we know or what we've been through. We're expanding our awareness of all that we are and all that we're doing. And expanding our awareness, it's like, I'm capable of that. I can do that. I can experience more. I can open to more love in my life. I can open to more creative expression. I can open to more good in my life. So, thinking about this, what do we and all people on the planet want? I think it comes down to just a few things. There's a few variations on it, but I think it comes down to just a few things. That people basically want health. You know, everyone wants to be healthy, right? So people want health. Everyone wants to have their needs met, whatever their needs are. So I'll say that everybody wants to have prosperity in their life. Everybody wants to know that they're loved and that they have avenues to express that love and give love into the world. So we have health, we have prosperity, and we have love. And everybody wants to be happy. Now, what really makes me crazy about that happy business is that I tell people, define that. Tell me what that means to you. And they don't have a clue. They really don't. Well, I don't know, I just want to be happy, you know? And I think, oh my God, you know? So really, what I think that's about is people want fulfillment. People want to experience an ongoing sense of fulfillment in their life. So health, prosperity, love, and fulfillment. And I think this is largely what's motivating people on our planet. And I think that everybody is doing the absolute best that they can and to get what they want. And they're using the best way that they know how with the tools that they have. They're doing the best job that they can here today. Now what we teach in the science of mind is one mind. God, infinite good, indwells and operates in us, through us, and as us, according to what we think. So what we think into the one mind affects the expression that we have in our life. So we say that God is a presence within. And so like Scripture tells us, we get to stir up that gift of God within us. And the gift has already been placed there. It's not like we're begging for the gift or hoping to find some gift or win a gift in a lottery. The gift of the infinite is already within us. And Scripture says that we get to stir up that gift of God. So the question is, what is it that stirs up the gift? Natural question. What is it that stirs up that gift? Well, our thought. Our constructive thought stirs up the gift of God. Our awareness, what we're being aware of, stirs up the gift of God. Where we have conviction in our life and having a concept of where we're headed, all of that stirs up the gift of God. Now, because God, Spirit, divine intelligence, is a wholeness, Jody was talking about, this is a universe. One, universe, not a multiverse, but a universe. And so when we reveal one of these areas in our life, when we make spiritual progress around health or love or fulfillment, it affects all areas in our life because it's one mind, it's one life, it's one spirit, it's one consciousness. So then what you do in any area of your life where the principles get expressed in a greater way affects all areas in your life. Nothing gets left out. So it cannot be that you have this realization of God in one area, but it doesn't work in another area in your life. So often people will say, well, I'm taking this time to work on my health. And I'm taking this time to develop a creative, loving relationship in my life. But see, the same principles work in any area, and they work in every area. So when people come to me and say, I want you to pray with me, I want you to work with me, I have this list, this mondo list of things I have to work on, I say, just stop. Stop it already. Tell me the most important thing that's going on in your life, the most important thing on your list. Because if one thing shifts in consciousness, it will absolutely affect everything else. Spirit is a wholeness. It's never separate little parts. It's never divided against itself. God within us is never divided against itself. You heal one area, and the principles we use will work in all areas. Bottom line. So the question begs, what do you expect from your thought? From the thought that you send out into the universe? Are you hopeful? Now, as students of the science of mind, what I trust is that you know that your word, the word that you speak, is the law. Now, if you know that the word that you speak is the law, then you're going to speak it with power and conviction. So now what do you expect? Knowing that your word is the law, and you're going to speak your word with power and conviction. What do you expect? See, people will say, oh, you know, I treated, but not much happened. I did some affirmations, but I don't really think they did any good. To which we would say, keep treating. Keep treating. Your life didn't get the way it is right now just in an instant. It took years of thinking and behaving and acting and doing life in a certain way for it to get exactly the way it is right now. So if you're seeking to demonstrate a greater expression of God, infinite intelligence, creative power in some area in your life, then it might take more than than some wimpy little treatment. It might take more than some half-hearted affirmation. People say, God is my help, God is my help, I'm the consciousness of help. Well, if I was the universe, I wouldn't say yes either. I wouldn't respond to that. That's pretty lame, you know? I mean, because when the consciousness inside of you is changed, when you're changed and I'm changed on the inside, we will see it manifest on the outside. So we have to know what we work on, we will accomplish. Bottom line, absolutely. And so, how do you really know that what you're working on in consciousness is going to accomplish? You're going to accomplish it. Because there's a universal mind into which we think. There's a universal mind into what we think. And that mind accepts the thought we put into it with conviction. Which is why wimpy little affirmations, God is my help, yeah, I accept a dynamic, loving relationship in my life. That's not doing any good because there's no conviction there. Come on, you need a little chutzpah, and you need a little oomph, and you need a little con gusto, you know, because really, you know, if you can't bring anything to the party, why is the universe going to bring something to the party? Really? So your conviction brings with it the perfect fulfillment. It's the law. But there has to be conviction on your part. So when you affirm something, you need to know you're working with a spiritual principle. And it responds to what you set forth into the law. You're not just saying nice, positive, sweet little nothings to yourself. Although it's probably better to say positive things to yourself, nice, sweet things, rather than the not-so-nice things that many of us have been saying to ourselves for years. And really, that hasn't worked all that well, has it? You know? So now today, in this moment, this would be a really, really good time to start talking to yourself in a nicer and a better way, in a more constructive way, in a more life-affirming way. Why? Because you're constantly using spiritual principle. And when you know that you're constantly using spiritual principle, you are doing spiritual work. You're changing your consciousness. You're having this conversation all the time in your head from the time that you wake up in the morning until the time that you go to bed. And if you're like me and you get up 5 times in the middle of the night, it starts all over again. You know? So the conversation that you're having 24/7 in your head is, yes, it's got to be, I can do this. Of course I can do what's before me. Yes, my life is good. I can do what God has put before me. And God within me knows exactly what to do. I have the capacity, I have the ability to do the things that are happening in my life right now. See, you always have to be talking yourself up so the universe sees how to respond to you. You're speaking your word into the infinite mind. Really, you know? You're giving direction to the mind of God. And the universe works according to law. See, the ideas that come to you, and this is the way God gives to us. God gives to us in the realm of ideas. We always talk about that. The ideas that you get are given to you to express them. Spirit doesn't do things halfway. Spirit doesn't say, okay, here's an idea for a great life. Looks good, doesn't it? Too bad it's not for you. You can have it. Spirit doesn't do that. That's completely not of God. We make that garbage up in our life. So if Spirit gives us the idea, there's a way for it to be fulfilled. Do you ever have a great idea and you don't act on it? I mean, I'm a champ on that. You know, we've all done it, I think. You got this great idea and you don't do anything about it. You drive through an intersection and you say to yourself, wow, that would be a great place for a pizza parlor. And then you just don't think about it, you just keep driving along. And then a couple months later, you go to the same intersection and you see there's a pizza parlor on the corner and the line is around the block. And you're saying, shoot, that's my idea. That should be me. I should be getting, that's my idea. I should be making that money. That was my idea. And the universe looks at you and says to you, well, I gave it to you, darling, but you didn't do anything with it. So I gave it to somebody else. And that's why they're succeeding with it, not you. So yes, Spirit gave it to you, but you didn't act on it. Spirit gives it to somebody who will. Somebody who knows that the power within them is greater than the idea itself. So we have to line ourselves up with the power to know it's part of me and part of you, and we're all just part of it. Here's the thing. If God could do it without you, God wouldn't have created you. But God, infinite intelligence, Spirit, needed to express. And that's why God created all of us. So the infinite mind expresses itself through its creation, and that would be us. That would be us. So I want to come back to that thing about what do we expect? What do you expect? What do you expect your word to manifest when you treat, when you affirm? Do you expect to have your needs met in life? Do you expect to be well and fulfilled? And do you expect to always have love in your life, for things to continually get better? Or do you expect to have it go all downhill from now on? Do you expect that you've lived your best life in the past and it's just now a matter of time and it's just history? Do you expect that you've already never going to get any more? Do you expect that your clothes won't fit next week? You know, I mean, whatever it is, whatever. Because here's the bottom line, what you're expecting, you are in the process of creating. That's what the universe is responding to. Now what I hope, what I pray and affirm is that you will get on the good side of the street with this and expect good things. That you are expecting good things all the time, that you're always going to be healthy, that you're always going to have a creative expression, you're always going to be happy, you're always going to have great love in your life, and you're going to be creatively fulfilled. If you expect that's how life's going to be for you, what you have to do then, if you expect that, what you have to do then is you have to back it up with your thinking. And not just an occasional good thought. It has to be a way of life for you. You have to back it up with your thinking consistently. See, all of us, we have the capacity, don't we, to make ourselves believe anything we want to believe? I mean, really, you can make yourself believe anything you want to. So why not believe in the things that are going to be good for you? Why not believe in the things that are going to support you? Why not believe in the things that are going to give you more life and open doors for you and expand you, rather than those things that are going to take away from you and diminish you? See, you are the infinite mind knowing its capacity to be. I believe that each of us right now, each person here has the consciousness of the idea, or we would not have had the idea. We talk all the time about your gifts to share. God, you know what those gifts are. You know what those gifts are. And you have the consciousness of bringing those gifts forward, or you would not have had the idea. We already have the consciousness of the demonstration, or we would not have had the idea. We already have the consciousness of the healing, or it wouldn't have come to us. Because Spirit never goes halfway. But we're human. We also have some stuff that gets in the way. We have some conflicting beliefs. We have some doubts. We have some fear. And we have some, oh, not now. I'm too busy. Oh, I'm so tired. Whatever. We have some crazy ideas, some limiting things that do not serve us. And what I say about that is good that we know that. It's good to know that. It's good to know what all of that is. Why? Why is that valuable to know that? Because that's where my work is. That's what I have to start to dismantle. I have to heal those beliefs. I have to let those beliefs go. And if I do that, then the law of mind can work fully and freely through me to express greater good. See, I have the consciousness of this good, and the creative mind of the universe has already established it in my life. So I get to speak it into form. And you already have the consciousness of the good in your life, whether it's health or love or creative expression, and the universe has already established it for you, and you get to speak it into form. Let's be specific. Let's talk about money, because that's always fun to talk about. Now, when you came into this life as a little baby, you will remember you did not come with any money. I have yet to hear of a baby being born with a bunch of dollars, a fistful of yen, or some euros in their hot little hand. And when people leave, as much as they try to take it with them, they don't. So the idea of money came from God, from Spirit, divine intelligence. And we get it because we have the consciousness of it being where we are. We expect it. Remember when you were a kid and you had to do jobs for an allowance, or maybe you had a paper route, or you shoveled snow in Minnesota? You worked for this little bit of money, and it was a pretty good thing in your life, you know? And then all of a sudden, you expect it to multiply because your idea, your belief in yourself increases. You say, well, making a few bucks is great, but making a few bucks more is even greater. And so your idea of yourself and what you have to offer, your own value of yourself expands. And as it expands, you expect money in your life to multiply. And it continues to multiply. And you start to think of yourself more and more like an abundant person. And you also start to think that everything I do will prosper me. And this is how the law of the universe works. And it's like I'm directing my consciousness and I'm sticking to the spiritual principles. Now, it's not just our conscious thought that we're concerned about in the science of mind. No. We're certainly concerned with the conversation that's going on in our head 24/7. Yes, yes, yes. And we want that to be constructive and positive and all of that. But it's also our subjective thought. So those things, those doubts and those fears and all that stuff down in their subconscious, we want to heal that. You know, so that can become constructive and positive and affirming. And then, on top of that, it's the thinking of the world around us. So we have to do our spiritual practice, we have to pray, and we have to affirm, and we have to study, and to work on our conscious thought, and our subjective thoughts, and our limiting beliefs from our past, and our family of origin package. But there's also what Ernest Holmes calls the race mind thinking, or as Jung called it, the herd mind from Minnesota. The herd mind, you know, that cow path that I love so much. But see, if you don't maintain a strong mental and spiritual household for yourself, then you're going to start to have the thinking of the world around you. That thinking is going to start to encroach upon you. And the problem with that is that the experience may not be for your highest and best good. It is probably not in your best interest. So you, as an individual center of God consciousness, get to have your own experience, but only if you maintain a strong spiritual and mental household. So it's your conscious thought, it's also your subjective thought. And it's also working so as not to be at the effect of race mind, race thought, the thinking of the world around us. I'll probably offend some people, but there is a level. There is a level where we absolutely have no right, no business really, letting physical manifestation interfere or limit or confound the spirit that we are. As Jody said in her treatment and her reading, we are each unique aspects of God consciousness. And how dare we as part of God, let some physical manifestation interfere with or limit or confound who we are. We have to go back to spiritual truth. We have to know again and again and again there is a spiritual principle that's right where we are, and it knows how. So our job is to just know the what. Here's an area I want to expand. I want to be more creatively expressed. I want to have more love in my life. I want a greater sense of abundance and well-being in my life. You just need to know the what and stick with it and be consistent and have a little con gusto, a little Spirit knows the how. How is not your business. We have to get over that. How is not your business. Let it go. You just need to be tuned into the what and stay true to the what, because our consciousness of who we are as a spiritual being flows out into form and manifests what we believe about ourselves and what we believe about life, our consciousness of who we are. So if you see yourself as part of the infinite, part of God, if you see yourself as an infinite being, if you see yourself as worthy and loving, if you see yourself as deserving and capable, that flows out into the universe. And the universe responds to it. Because we know the universe just says yes. Mary Baker Eddy, who was the founder of Christian Science, used to say, divine love has always met and will always meet every human being. I love that. I think it's so empowering. God meets our needs, absolutely. God is meeting our needs right now and always. And we say, how is that possible? Because there is a principle in you, in me, and you can depend on that principle. And not only depend on it, you can expect your word to accomplish and fulfill itself. Then you have to back up that word with the right thinking. The thinking that it requires, the thinking that it deserves. And then constantly be accepting. Yes, this is my life. Yes, it gets to be good. Yes, it gets to be better. Yes, I accept it. I get to be healed. Hooray. Yes, yes, yes. Things are always working for my good. And then accept it as a completed being, completed thing. Remember, our word is the law.